Hello friends, today I will discuss the numerical problems on mesh analysis. So let me take a problem like this. So here it is a 10 volt supply connected to a 5 ohm resistor, and that 5 ohm resistor is connected to 3 ohm resistor, and then we have the 4 ohm resistor here, and here 3 ohms, and here 1 ohm resistor, like this. So what we need to know is what is the current flowing in this loop and in this loop. So this loop 1 current we call as I1 and loop 2 current we call as I2, like this. Once the loop currents are known, so then we have to identify what is the polarity of voltage across each element in this circuit. So to give the polarity of voltage across each element, so we should follow certain rule. When we find the when the current enters the passive element in the assumed current direction, then we call that as positive terminal, and leaving that terminal, that element, we call that as negative terminal, and we call that as voltage drop, and then the sign that it gets is minus. Similarly, if the current entering at the negative terminal and then leaves the positive terminal, or when we find the negative terminal first, next positive terminal, we call that as voltage rise, and the sign that it gets is positive. So these two things we have to keep in mind. So before we apply the polarity of voltage across each element in the circuit. So look at this. This is the circuit which is redrawn, and we know what is the loop 1 current and what is the loop 2 current. Loop 1 current is I1. In this loop 1, we have to assign the polarity for each element. So for that, so we start at some point in the first loop. Let me start at 5 ohm resistor. So I1 first enters the 5 ohm resistor here, so we give the polarity positive first. Then because the current is leaving at this terminal of the 5 ohm resistor, we call that as negative terminal. Similarly, the I1 first enters the 3 ohm resistor here, so entering point we designate with positive polarity, and leaving current of that element we call that as negative terminal. Similarly, for 4 ohms, so I1 enters here, so we put positive here, then other terminal will become negative. So then there is no element here. Then here there is a voltage source here. The voltage source polarity do not change. It is always negative. This is always positive. Similarly, for second loop, so this is the I2 current and flowing in the clockwise direction. So we start giving the polarity of voltage across each element. So we start at point 3, means 3 ohm resistor. So I2 enters 3 ohm resistor here, so we say that is positive. Then here current leaves, so this becomes negative. Similarly, I2 enters here, so entering point we call as positive terminal. The other terminal automatically becomes negative. So similarly, we have in this loop 4 ohm resistor and I2 entering the 4 ohm resistor here. So we call this is positive terminal, and here current is leaving the 4 ohm resistor. So automatically it will become negative. So we assumed the loop currents, and we also given the polarity for voltages across various elements in the circuit. Once this is done, and having known the definition of voltage drop and voltage rise and its sign, so now we can write loop equations for loop 1 and loop 2. First let me take the loop 1 equation. So you start at some point, so let me start at this point, means 3 ohm resistor. So polarity is already given. So this is going from positive to negative in the assumed current direction is called voltage drop. So it will get minus. So minus 3 into what is the current flowing here? I1, minus 3 I1. Next, there is another element called 4 ohms. So here we are getting here plus first, next negative. So going first positive, next negative in the assumed current direction means it is voltage drop, and that will get the negative sign. So minus into 4, minus 4 into whatever current that flows here. I1 flows, and also I2 is also flowing, but I2 will flow in the opposite direction to that of the I1. So, and while writing the loop equation for loop 1, we assume that loop 1 current is more than the remaining loop current. So, we write here minus 4 into I1, and I2 is flowing opposite direction. So, we write here minus I2 like this. Next, this element is over. Next, what is that? So we come here. This is another element. This is a voltage source. So it has the fixed polarity. First negative, next positive in the assumed current direction. First negative, next positive. Next first negative, first positive means voltage rise. It will get the positive sign. So we get plus 10 like this. Next, you have another element here, 5 ohm resistor. So this is the positive polarity. This is negative polarity. So in the assumed current direction, first getting the positive, next negative means voltage drop. That will get the minus. So minus 5 into current flowing is I1. So minus 5 I1 is equal to 0. This is the loop 1 equation. You simplify this further. Then we get minus 12 I1 plus 4 I2 is equal to minus 10. So that is loop 1 equation. Similarly, write the loop 2 equation. So start at one point. Let us say here this is the 4 ohm resistor. So current polarity already known. So going in the direction of assumed current direction I2, first getting positive, next negative. First positive, next negative means voltage drop. So minus 4 into current flowing is I2. And there is another current flowing called I1, but we are writing the loop equation of 2, mean loop 2 equation. So we assume loop 2 current is more than the remaining loop current. So we write I2, and the I1 is flowing in the opposite direction as that of the I2 in this element. So that I1 will get the negative sign here. So we write minus 4 I2 minus I1 like this. Next, what is the other element? That is after 4 we get 3 here. Polarity is already fixed. So going from positive to negative in the assumed current direction, positive to negative means voltage drop. So that will get negative sign. So minus 3. So current flowing is I2. So minus 3 into I2. Next, there is another element here, 1 ohm. So first getting positive, next negative in the assumed current direction, plus first next negative means voltage drop. It will get the negative sign. So minus 1 into current flowing there is only I2. So we write minus I2 is equal to 0. Means second loop equation is also completed. So now we simplify this. Then we get 4I1 minus 8I2 is equal to 0, and this we call that as loop 2 equation. So we know loop 1 equation and loop 2 equation. There are two unknowns, two equations. So first write these loop equations in the form of matrix like this. So look at this, minus 12, 4, minus 12, 4. Similarly here 4, minus 8. And then current matrix is I1, I2 is equal to, so what is right side here? It is minus 10, and here it is 0, minus 10, 0. So now to get this I1 and I2, we use what is called the Cramer's rule. So let us say we want to know what is the I1. So to get the I1, so replace this first column with the right hand side matrix, that is minus 10, 0, and the other column will be as it is, 4, minus 8, and divide that with this matrix, that is minus 12, 4, 4, minus 8. Simplify that, then we get 1 ampere current. Similarly, to get I2, what we should do is replace this second column with the right hand side matrix and divide that with the original matrix, that is this, and then simplify it. Then we get what is called I2. And once we follow that, we get what is called I2 value is 0.5 amperes. Next, there is another problem we take for mesh analysis. So here we have a 80 volt supply, 10 ohm resistor connected like this, and there is a bridge here. So 20 ohms here, 30 ohms here, 40 ohms here, 5 ohms here, 30 volts is connected like this. So what we want is what is the voltage drop across this 40 ohms. Similarly, what is the current flowing in this loop, and what is the current flowing here, what is the current flowing in this. So to get that, what we have to do is we have to identify what are the loops, and then we have to assign the currents for each loop, and then we have to give the polarity for voltage across each element by following some rule. So that rule is nothing but like this. In the assumed current direction, first passive element, if the current enters the passive element, we treat that as positive terminal, leaving the positive, that passive element as negative. So similarly, suppose we get the supply like this. So in the assumed current direction, first getting negative, next positive, means we treat that as voltage rise. So first negative, next positive means voltage rise. So that will get the positive sign. So these are the two rules that we have to keep while writing the loop equations. So let me assume first the loop currents. This is the loop 1, and this is loop 2, and this is loop 3. And loop currents are I1, this is I2, and this is I3. So I2 is loop 2 current, I3 is loop 3 current. So having known the loop currents, so in each loop we have to give the voltage polarity across each element except voltage sources, because their polarities do not change with the current direction which are chosen. So let me start here at 10 ohm resistor. So I1 first enters the passive element, so we give the positive terminal, and rest automatically will become negative. Similarly here 20 ohms, I1 first enters the 20 ohm resistor, so that we call positive terminal, other terminal automatically become negative. Next this I1 enters the 30 ohms, so we get here positive terminal first. So let me take another problem here. Find the voltage across terminals A and B in the given circuit. So look at this. This is the A terminal, this is B terminal, and there are two loops. This is one loop, this is another loop. There are totally three sources. Two are in loops, one is outside the loop. To get this VAB, so we assume VA is at higher potential than the B potential. And here also we assume the first loop currents. To solve this problem, first redraw the circuit like this and assume the loop currents here. So this is loop 1, this is loop 2, and loop 1 current we call as I1, loop 2 current we call as I2. And after that, in the assumed current direction, give the voltage polarity across each element. So if you look at this, you start at this point. So this is the 5 ohm resistor. I1 is entering here. It's entering the passive element, we call the positive terminal, and the other terminal will become negative. So then I1 enters this 10 ohm. So here we get positive terminal first, next negative. Next there is another 15 ohm resistor. Again that I1 enters here, so we call this as positive terminal and leaving here negative terminal. So voltage source polarity do not change with the assumed current direction, remains same. This is negative and the upper plate is positive. And in between we have the 5 volts supply and in series with a 4 ohm resistor, but no current flows in this because there is no closed circuit here. So here there is another loop called second loop, and we assume the current direction like this. So in the assumed current direction, we take one element first. So I2 is entering the 10 ohm resistor. So entering the passive element we call positive terminal plus. So next other terminal will become negative, and then the polarity of the voltage source do not change. This is always negative and this is always positive, irrespective of the current direction assumed. Then so same I2 enters the 6 ohm resistor here, so we call this as positive terminal and the other terminal we call as negative terminal. Same I2 enters the 4 ohms here, so entering the 4 ohm resistor we call that as positive terminal and leaving as negative terminal here. So having completed all this polarity allocation and also the loop current allocation, so now we have to choose a path to get the VAB. A is known, B is known. So you can name all the terminals like this. This is C, D, E, and this is F, H, B, G. So we want to write only equation in this path. A, B, A, E, F, H, B. A, E, F, H, B. So what is A means VA, that is positive. We are already assumed that A is at higher potential, so means it is positive terminal. So next, so in the assumed current direction, first we are getting plus, next negative, means it will become voltage drop. So we call that as minus 15 into current flowing in that is I1. Next, you have a voltage source in between E and F, that is 5 volts, and in this direction first getting positive, next negative, means it will become voltage drop. So I write minus 5. So then there is no current flowing in the 4 ohm resistor. We write simply 0 into 4 or simply 0. Then between F and H first in this direction. So first we are getting positive, next negative. So means that becomes a voltage drop. So minus 20. Next there is a 10 ohm resistor. So in this path 10 ohms resistor have the first negative terminal, next positive. Going from negative to positive is nothing but voltage rise, and it will get the positive sign. So that is plus 10. So current flowing in this is I2. So that is why we write here I2. So next B is here, and we already assume that B is at lower potential. So we call that as minus VB is equal to 0. And we know the loop 1, loop 2. So calculate what is loop 1 current and what is loop 2 current. I1 is nothing but 30 volts divided by whole resistance, that is 5 plus 10 plus 15. Then we get 1 ampere. Similarly I2. So here V by R, that is nothing but 20 divided by all resistors, 6 plus 4 plus 10. That is 20 by 20. Then we get 1 ampere here. So once we know this I1 and I2, substitute these values here. Then get the VA minus VB. So that is nothing but VA minus VB minus 15. So look at this, minus 15. I1 just now calculated 1 ampere, minus 5. So minus 0. Next minus 20 plus 10 into I2. I2 is also 1 ampere. So 10 into 1. So is equal to 0. This VB already brought here. So now VA minus VB means transfer all these elements to the right side. Then we get, after simplification, we get 30 volts. So this we can also say VAB is equal to 30 volts.